Guys, how's it going? It is your boy, Manga Man Drew, and I'm here to do my manga reaction to Dr. Stone, manga chapter 223. And unfortunately, after this chapter reaction, we are going to be on a break for the next 2 weeks because of, the winter/Christmas holiday. So, a little bit sad, but most likely I'm probably going to have a review out for My Hero Academia because they normally come out early. But then after that, we're getting a 2-week break. So, let's hope that we end this week, in this year of Dr. Stone with a bang. So we're probably going to get, hopefully, some more about what they're going to do to get to the Y-Man, or we're actually going to see the rocket take off in this chapter. That is my predictions. So I'm going to dive right into it, going into chapter 223 right now. I'm having a little bit of problems actually getting to that point. Stupid computer acting weird. Alright, we're gonna have to wait. Probably going to have to cut this out. Hopefully not. Maybe. And here we go. We're about to go right into it. Chapter 223. Ooh, we're starting with a color cover page where we got all of the astronauts going to moon. Pretty much confirming that, yeah, Senku is going to the moon along with Stanley as well as Kohaku, as we get Z equals 223. 0. Oh, okay, are we launching the rocket to the moon? It feels like we're launching the rocket up to the moon. Oh, cool. Yeah, we're seeing more of the astronaut training. We see that they're trying to withstand, like, the depths of the sea as they're going up and down. That's really cool, as we get, also Kohaku doing it as well, Stanley, Senku, as well as we also get to see Chrome as well as Suika marking the date for most likely when the rocket ship's about to take off. Wow, yeah, we're already there. They're assembling the rocket. We see Stanley, Senku, as well as Kohaku in their black space suits. Didn't think that was going to be a thing, but a cool contrast between the white space suits that we see now and these dark ones, as everyone is cheering them on. Kohaku's sister, Ruri, is like giving her like words of encouragement. She's saying, "Kohaku, don't be reckless. Promise me you'll come home safely." And she's like, "Haha, you bet I will." Actually, now I think about it, what about the Medusa? That's something that needs to be stated, as you have Chrome talking to Senku, who's like, "Don't tell me you're getting cold feet now, Professor Senku." And Senku's like, "Have you ever even met me?" As you even have Zeno talking to Stanley as like, at last, the fateful showdown with Y-Man. We never planned for this, but my science and your battle prowess will once again combine to wage war. And you have Stanley's like, "Don't know about that. It ain't just the two of us anymore." Aww, he's accepted the crew, hopefully. As they're like, Zeno comes in, it's like, "How right you are. We are joined by Senku's people. No, by the entire world." Still doesn't discredit the fact that you were trying to take over the world. And I just looked over to the other side and, oh, it's so precious. As it's like, "No smoking allowed in space, of course. But how about chewing tobacco shaped like cigarettes?" Oh my gosh. He's like, "Yeah, you can't smoke in space, but you can definitely do chewing tobacco in the form of cigarettes." Ew, that's so weird to think about. Just, ew, it's so gross. Ew, it's gonna be in space too. But then you even have Tsukasa's like, "Kohaku, between your martial arts and Stanley's marksmanship, the two of you should be able to handle any moon combat as the ultimate fighting force." As you have Ryutsui's like, "Haha, you stole my ride to space, Stanley, so I expect you to do your job, beat Y-Man, and make it back safely. Am I wrong? Or rather, can you do it?" As he's looking, and you just have Stanley's like, "Yeah, I can." As they do a fist bump on the glass. Oh, this is so great. Oh, the mission to the moon. And you even have Luna herself saying, "Can't handle this. Nope, I knew they'd be too much. My first time seeing Senku in like forever, and he's gonna risk his neck in space." That's what she's thinking in her head, but she's like, Luna is like cool, collected. She's like, "Who, me? Worried? Not at all. Sometimes I wonder if I'm too smooth for my own good." As you have Carlos in the background and the other guy Oh gosh, I forgot his name. All I remember is Carlos. It's like, Siku's obviously going to succeed, and we're gonna come back to me. And she's saying it as everyone's like, okay. As you even have Siku's like, yeah, relax. The historical death rate for humans in space is like only 5%. No, that's not reassuring. As they're like, right, today's the day, and I think this is coming from. Oh gosh, this is coming from Suika. It's like, the moon launch feels like a big party, but what if the rocket fails like all those other times? As everyone's just looking up, and Gina's like, it's fine, Ruli Day. After all, our space cadets will be petrified for the takeoff, right? So even if the launch fails and they're blown up, we can just gather the fragments and revive them. Oh gosh. As you just have Taiju's like, good point. And you even have Siku's like, you're not very convincing. Even the big oaf has doubts. As you have Gein's like, it'll be fine. Yes, just fine. Oh no. Was Gein the one that sabotaged the Medusa? Well, I don't know. As you have someone's like, no way we fail, and worse comes to worse, I'll spend decades finding all of your stone bits so that Yuzurihara could piece you back together. As you have Taiju saying that, and Tiku's like, you two are so hardworking, I bet you try. And you guys have Taiju's like, no, Senku, not try. We do it. You can count on that. And you just have Senku's like, yeah, you just might. Oh, this is so touching. And you have everyone in the crowd's like, the best that the ground crew can do is lend you moral support. You've got this, Senku, Stanley, Kawaku. As you even have, oh gosh, I forgot his name, Joel, Kaseki, I presume. As Kaseki's just looking over at Joel, is like, you must be Joel. Oh, they're about to have their toast, they're about to drink, or they're about to do something else. And she's like, now we can have our toast as fellow engineers of the stone world, as they've worked on building a small capsule device, most likely for the Medusa. It's like, such precise work. They work so much faster together. Oh gosh, as you have Kaseki's like, it's been years since using one of these batteries. Time to wake up, little Medusa. Oh yeah, that's so great. As you have the Medusa being handed to Senku as the rocket begins to launch off in like T minus 5 meters. Oh, 5 meters, 1 second. So they get petrified in the suit. Okay. And like, it's already happened. They're already stoned. It's just like, wait, Medusa has misfired before, right? What'll they do if the zaps them again? We couldn't discern the cause of the replicate and the phenomenon. Replicate the phenomenon, and without any alternative method, we must accept the risk that it may activate the next few days. All we can do is hope. There's no other option. What awaits our heroes on the moon's surface? Soon the moon rocket will launch! And they're beginning the countdown as they're petrified. It's like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And as we have them all in the rocket, Tsuku's thinking, it's always so quiet being petrified. Can't hear a damn thing out there. Can't even feel any vibrations. Ooh. But assuming Zeno's moving according to the plan, no, I know for a fact he is. Then right now, the countdown is at 5. The bargain. This brings back memories from when I got hit with the petrification beam. For 3,700 years, I sat counting the seconds go by. 100,000. Oh gosh, that's a long number. I don't even know if that is like in the millions, billions, or trillions. So I'm just gonna skip that. It's like 1, 2, but now I'm counting down. Oh, 2. The thematics 1. By humanity's wit, by the power of science. Oh, we've reversed the petrification of our world back to 0, and now we're departing that very world. 0! I think that's the end of the chapter. Oh, bruh, this chapter ends with them going into space or about to go into space. Oh, so review time for Dr. Stone. This was fantastic. I love this chapter. This chapter was primarily just building up to the end of this chapter, which is Zero, which is, the rocket being blasted off. As soon as I saw that Zero, it pretty much confirmed that we were going to blast off into space. So, for the most part, what this chapter is just all of the characters getting together, having this reunion with one another, and just having sort of kind of last words. There's a fair amount of pessimism in this, but also a whole lot of optimism. We get to see the characters interacting with each other, getting to see them interact with the characters that they've built an attachment with most within a short amount of time. With Kohaku, it's going to be her sister. With Senku, it's going to be Chrome. With Stanley, it's going to be Zeno. But also with Stanley, it was also Ryusui. With Kohaku, it was also Tsukasa. And it's just very cool to see these dynamics and these interactions go off. We even have Luna play off a little bit with Senku going into space, and even having, probably more importantly, Gin with his weird persona where he may actually know what went wrong and who actually did it. Most likely it was Ukyo, because everything ties back into Ukyo, as well as just getting to see Taiju and Yuzurihara interact with Senku, who are his best friends, more or less, and even getting to see that interaction between Joel and Kaseki, and how there was a building up to it, where they were finally able to put the Medusa onto the rocket, where they were able to petrify Senku, Stanley, as well as Kohaku, as that is the best way solution to prepare for the rocket, and that if something does go wrong, that they'll be able to pretty much be rescued if they're able to get all of the pieces, as long as the pieces, don't get atomized. But that's something that they probably didn't think of. But they also bring up this idea that they don't know how the Medusa went off, and that they really don't know what went wrong. They couldn't replicate it, but that they just have to put hope in the fact that something like this won't happen while they're in space, as they're literally counting down the rockets. And I just love the symbolism with what Senku brings up when he's petrified, and how he doesn't know exactly what's going on outside, but he knows for a fact that if he thinks that Zeno is doing what he's doing, that they're counting down from a certain point, and how this entire story starts off pretty much with Senku counting the numbers for him to be freed from the petrification. And now that he's in the petrification, he's not counting the days, but counting down backwards. He was counting from all the way up into the million, billion, trillion seconds, but now he's counting down to 0, which is probably where he started, where the world started, where he was unpetrified, and now they're back in a state where they can literally launch a rocket back to the moon. So we've pretty much come full circle with what was established at the beginning of the story, returning back to the world where they can send people up into the moon in rockets, and now everything beyond this is anyone's guess. What's going to go on with the Y-Man? We don't know. Are they going to end up and come back to Earth safely? Technically, we don't know. We have entered into new territory because the main goal of this entire story, for the most part, has been met, and now we just have to finish off with the new goal of finding out what's going on with the Y-Man on the moon, and it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see what Dr. Stone has in store for us with the next chapter. Most likely they're going to be able to be lifted off into the sky, so we're probably going to focus more on Senku, Stanley, and Kohaku when they finally reach the moon. They may reach the moon in the next mission. We may get references to the robot, the space station up there, but I think that next chapter we're going to probably end with them on the moon, which is going to be very interesting, and we're going to see how that plays out. So yeah, that's pretty much the review section for this Dr. Stone video. Hopefully you enjoyed this chapter. I really did enjoy it, and I think this will hold me over for the next few weeks until the next chapter comes out. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this video. What did you think? Did you like this chapter? Did you dislike this chapter? And do you think that something wrong is going to happen with the moon, or do you think that a problem with the Medusa is going to pop up in the next chapter or within the next few chapters? Leave your thoughts down in the comments down below. Leave a like on the video if you liked it. Subscribe to my new YouTube channel if you want to see more content like this, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified for whenever I upload more content like this. Do all that cool jazz, and hopefully I'll be able to catch you in my next video. Goodbye!